I'm stoked about this. I've been a fan of this show for a while.
Yeah? Well, I appreciate it, dude.
I mean, you've had all the homies on, so this is an honor.
I appreciate the kind words, and I appreciate you doing this, man. So
yeah, of course. That's mad.
We're on a ship that flies and flies and flies and
Hi guys, welcome to another episode of Trip Through Time. As time goes by, memories never die. So much went down at Yahn Dawn. Today's focus is around an event that didn't involve music and would surprise some outsiders. Why? Because it involved physical activity at a music festival. Today's guest reps PL heavily from the courtroom to the finish line with the PR personal record marathon time of 2 hours and 48 minutes, averaging just under 6.5 minute miles. The man behind the 5K at Yahn Dawn. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Matan Korrub.
What's up? Thank you for having me. Really just an honor to be here. Appreciate the time.
Yeah, dude. Tell your story on getting into this music and the road it led you down.
Yeah, it's been quite the journey. I started running back in like 2007, 2008. And music was always a big part of running. Just sort of felt good to run to some of these tunes. And around 2009, one of my friends, she said, "Hey, you should check out this Pretty Light stuff." I think she was living in Colorado at the time. So I was like, all right, I'll give this a shot. I'll go for a run and listen to this. And it just hit. I don't know what it was, but it matched the energy that I felt when I ran. And from that moment forward, Pretty Lights was a huge component of my training. It got to a point where I'm training at a pretty competitive level, running for an hour or two every day, just listening to PL. And I got so into it. It was so deeply connected to my running. And these two things just became super meaningful to me. That said, it had always been somewhat of a solo journey. I was living in Chicago at the time. I see that Bears poster over there. And it was just me. I didn't go to shows. I didn't connect with other PLF. I didn't even know the shit was out there. I would just run and listen to PL and be super into it. And when the hiatus came around, it was tough. I wanted new music. I wanted for the whole thing to evolve, and it was hard. I moved to Colorado during the pandemic and a little bit after, and then in April of 23, when PL announced the comeback, I was like, oh fuck yeah, let's go. And so that was when I said, okay, now I'm going to take this further than just me and my running and PL. I'm going to start going to shows and tapping in a little bit. I didn't really know what to expect, but I quickly realized that I stumbled across a really special community, gradually began making connections. I'll never forget the first time I met somebody who was also into PL the way I was. Here I'd been listening for 12, 13 years by myself, super into it. And suddenly I met my buddy Nick before Mission Night 1. We get to talking to PL. I'm like, oh my God, this guy gets it. Like, this is incredible. And so that sort of jump-started this whole initiative on my end to really tap in, to go to shows, to connect with the fam, and to get really involved in this special community that I'd found. And it's been an incredible journey. But over the course of the last 2 years, the friendships that I've built, the connections that I've made have been so deeply meaningful and special. I find myself feeling so grateful to this music for having connected me with this community. And so what started as a solo journey for over a decade of just running to PL has evolved into so much more where I'm really, it's become a big part of my life and I'm really grateful about it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So a couple questions.
Yeah.
You grew up in Highland Park, you said,
I grew
right?
up in the suburb. Yeah, I grew up in the suburbs of
Yeah.
Chicago, like Highland
Yeah.
Park, Deerfield, and
Okay.
then lived downtown during law school and a little bit after
Gotcha.
that.
How old are
Yeah.
you?
I'm 42.
Okay. Yeah, I grew up in Mount Prospect, so just a little
Yeah.
south and a little west of you. But
Yeah.
my mom's from Winnetka. Actually,
Yeah.
my dad grew up in Gulf, which is right by like it's a small town village by Glenview and Morton Grove. But my
Yeah.
mom is a huge runner, dude.
No
Uh,
shit.
yeah, my mom does fucking. She does triathlons and definitely a bunch of marathons and stuff. But yeah, she's big on that stuff. So.
She sounds
Uh,
like a badass.
Yeah, yeah. So one thing I noticed when I think you followed me and I followed you back, but I noticed you were a runner and everything like that. So it just it's cool. Obviously, there's a lot of people in the community that are like typical cats, but it's just cool and refreshing to see someone as yourself. That's just like, for one, you found the music found you, and instead of a
Yeah.
lot of us found it through festivals and things like that, but just to hear your story and how it was a motivational thing within your love of running and things like that, and just to see. And it's always funny that you have these ideas in your head. I was thinking you've been around forever going to shows and stuff, and to hear that
Yeah.
your first one was after the hiatus is
That's
amazing.
right. Yeah.
So Mission was your first show?
Yeah. I went to a festival. I went to like Spring Awakening Festival in
Oh,
Chicago.
okay. Yeah, 2014.
I went to that and I did see PL at Aragon Ballroom.
Oh, okay.
That was technically my first show. It was Aragon Ballroom, Chicago 2013.
Did you go both nights of
Just
that
the
one?
first night. Just the
Okay,
first night.
gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I saw two shows before the hiatus,
Mhm.
and now I'm at like 32.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
And look, to your point earlier, man. First of all, I appreciate the kind words, and one of the things that's cool about this music is we all discover it in different ways. We all sort
Yeah.
of come into it. Everybody has their own story
Mhm.
about how this incredibly meaningful part of their life came to be. And for me, it's through running. Running was the sort of vehicle channel that brought me here. But everybody has their own unique connection in
Yeah.
how they got here.
Yeah, no, it's awesome. And that's my whole thing with this, I want to capture everyone's story and stuff like that. So, yeah, dude, that's awesome. And so you live in New York now. Are you in
Yep. Yeah,
Brooklyn?
I'm in Manhattan. I'm in the
Oh,
Lower
wow.
East Side. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's crazy over here, but I love it. I spent a couple years in Denver during COVID. I
Mhm.
moved from New York to Colorado. Spent like 3 years there. Had a good time. Met a lot of great people. Definitely connected with the PL community on a
Mhm.
close level. And then a little less than a year ago, I moved back to New York. At the end of the day, I'm still a city boy.
So is that what caused was it just personal, or did a job bring you
Yeah,
back? Or,
yeah.
yeah.
No, my work's fully remote, so I am fortunate enough to have the freedom to be anywhere.
Mhm.
But New York was really calling me back. Ultimately, the opportunities, the lifestyle, the energy of the city is what I want for myself.
Gotcha.
So I miss all my Colorado homies, but
Mhm.
life in New York's really good.
Yeah, okay, well, Yahn Dawn, the recap just dropped. Obviously, you're in there, a big piece of that. So, just how did it come to fruition with this whole thing? Like, was it your idea? Did someone reach out to you? Like, let us know.
Yeah. So as I've gotten more and more connected with the community, I think to whatever extent I've expressed the the impact that PL has had on my training, the way the music and the community has uplifted me. You may have seen in a number of big races like the Boston Marathon, I'm wearing a singlet and repping PL on my chest.
Fucking
And
dope.
thank you.
Yeah.
Like these are big races on a large scale, and they're events that I've been training really hard for and get a lot of visibility in when competing at a high level. Um, in light of the like just profound impact and support and drive and strength that I've gotten from PL over years and years, I really find it important to be able to represent the fam and represent the music at these big races. It's something that really means a lot to me, to sort of show my gratitude for everybody that supported me throughout my training, and for the music that has and continues to fuel me every day. And so, a lot of people, I think I said this in a post after one of my races, a lot of competitive runners, they'll wear a singlet with the like symbol of their team that they train with. But PL is my team, man.
Oh, yeah.
Like I feel so sort of inspired and empowered, and such a deep connection. So I represent PL in a lot of races. With the 5K, it's always been a dream of mine to run with D. Again, he's had such influence and has allowed me to accomplish some of my biggest dreams in this sport. You mentioned my marathon PR. I mean, so much of what I've achieved in running, I really attribute to PL and to Derek. And so this idea of going for a run with D and bringing together the sport and this sound that has enabled it was something that I was really drawn to. So I actually reached out to Uma saying, hey, I don't know, I'm sure you guys have a busy schedule, but, would love to. And I know that D has actually been running himself lately. One of the things that I've learned is that leading up to Yahn Dawn, Derek's been doing more running and more racing and has gotten into the sport himself. So, Uma and I had chatted a little bit months ago, and I said to her, hey, I'm sure you have a busy schedule, but would love for the chance to go for a run with Derek. And she responded and said, actually, you've inspired us to put together a 5K at Yahn Dawn. And I said, oh, fuck yeah, this sounds phenomenal. Let me know if I can help. And so Uma connected me with Araya, who recently joined the PL team. Araya is a rock star organizer and manager and just do it all. She is such a badass. She's also the manager for Motif and has now started supporting the PL team and their projects. So Uma connected me with Araya and with the goal of putting together this 5K. So, Araya hadn't really put a race on before, nor did she have really much experience with running races, but she brought a ton of enthusiasm and resources and energy to put this together. Her and I then spent the next 6 weeks really meticulously planning this out. She had a great vision, a lot of resources, and the ability to help me bring this to light. And so over those 6 weeks, we talked in excruciating detail in planning everything out. The race course and the volunteers and the bibs and Mikey Thunder and the signups and payment portals and a charity and raffles and so much that goes into putting on a race. It was great to be able to take my running experience, I've run hundreds of races, and use that to create this experience. And on a personal level, in light of what PL means to me, this idea of taking my love for running and PL and that combination and getting to enable other people to see that and feel it and experience it was something that I was so excited by. So the whole planning process had me real geeked up. I was so amped to be able to put in the energy to make this happen. That said, there was still a lot of uncertainties about how things would shake up. I couldn't help but ask myself, how many people really want to run a 5K at a music festival? It starts at 9 a.m. It's going to be hot. It's going to be dusty. People will be out late the night before. A part of me was somewhat concerned about what the turnout would be, how the event would be received, whether people would even be into the idea of it, especially since a lot of the community is either inexperienced with fitness or new to fitness or not very involved in a sports or athletics. I thought that there could be either a lot of resistance or even outright rejection for this. So I was super pumped to put in the work to do it, but it wasn't until we announced the race that I really felt a sense of confidence in how things were going to shake out.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome.
Yeah. Well, to continue on that thread, all this work went into the race, and it came time to announce. And again, all credit to Araya. She really drove this project. She put in so much work to make sure all of our bases were covered. There's so many moving parts to this, and she was really on it. And so one of the last pieces before arriving in Yahn Dawn was the announcement. And when she made the post and we shared the creative, which was designed by Millie, by the way. Millie killed the creative, the design. It blew up. People were all about it. The reception to the race was so positive. It really felt good to see this level of enthusiasm. So sign-ups, donations, excitement, all that shit started to build. It was great. It really got me even more amped up than I already was. And so yeah, we got things kicked off. The only remaining piece now was to actually execute, right? To actually have the race. And one of the biggest sort of open items was whether D was going to show up. Right? Uma has been involved, is getting updates, knows that the race is planned. It gets incorporated into the official programming too, right? When they release the schedule, the 5K is listed on there at 9 a.m. on Saturday. So this is, now, and it's an official event. But there's still rumors about whether or not Derek's gonna come up and race. But nonetheless, the enthusiasm was there. People were into it. We were really stoked. And so on race day, here's a little background. It was a scramble to get set up. A little behind the scenes info for you guys. The event staff was super late to show up, and we had a lot of shit to do. We had this big inflatable start line to blow up, and a table and decks and marking the course. The course is like winding, right? Like we really need. I had ran the course a few times myself, like in the days before, to just sort of scout it and map it out. And the course was great, but it was twisty and turning. So we needed to like put arrows and markers. And the race is supposed to kick off at 9. We told people to show up at 8. It's like 7:45, and the guys from the race, or from the like, Meadow Creek, they're not there. And finally they showed up with like 5 minutes to spare, and we start scrambling just to like blow shit up. Also, mad props to the volunteers, to Swirl Safe, Yellow Birds. They were huge. The illuminators, really, really helpful. Volunteers came in so clutch. Everybody was constantly asking, like, what can they do? How can I pitch in? This is where the community element of this event really started to shine. Yeah. I could tell, like, oh, this is going to be like a really cohesive experience. And so we got it together. We got the start line blown up, and we got decks set up for Mikey Thunder, and we got everybody situated. We got the water ready. We got an air horn. And then, sure enough, Dee and Uma pull up on a golf cart. And I'm like, oh fuck, this is really happening, right? Like this is such a dream of mine. It almost felt surreal. And so you get people lined up at the start line, and I give my little speech, talking about just how touched I am that everybody showed up for this. I mean, again, the whole thing still feels surreal. Not just Dee there, but all like there were like 300-400 people who showed up for this race, and it's such a beautiful thing for me to see my love of PL and running coming together and having others get to experience that. And so, I just tell people how grateful I am. And Dee gives a little speech as well. And he jumped into the crowd to go start the race. I get the air horn. I say, on your mark, get set, go.
And then you'll hear the air horn. So here we go. On your mark. Get set.
People gunned it. People just so when Araya and I were first planning this, we didn't know whether it would be like a casual fun run where just people kind of run together and it's just sort of a jog that everyone does at the same time, or is this going to be an actual race where people are competing? And sure enough, it was the latter. I mean, people were just going for it. It was so great to see. So I jumped in with Derek, which was very kind of Araya to allow, because there's so much happening. Like as a race host and organizer, there's just so much going on and so many moving parts from a like oversight standpoint. There's just a lot that needs to be done. But Araya was like, yeah, go run with him, go have fun. So for the next 40 minutes or so, 45 minutes, I get to run with Dee for the race, and it was incredible. It was just such a powerful experience for me to get to spend that time doing this thing with the person to whom I feel like I owe so much. Right? Like I wouldn't be there. I wouldn't have this incredibly life-changing sport and experience and uh, passion without him. And so for him to be there for that and for us to share that together, it was so cool. And also fucking hilarious. So much funny shit was going down during the race. Like people were handing him food, like he ate someone's burrito in the middle of the yeah. Like we stopped in, like I came up and just gave him a burrito and he ate it.
Oh my god.
Yeah, he was like popping into people's camps because the route goes through the campsite.
Yeah.
And so you have these unsuspecting folks who are just like sitting there cooking up breakfast, and all of a sudden D bursts in and just be like, "Yo, what's up?" And people were shocked. It was so funny. And
That's
then there was a lot of like, really nice stuff too.
Yeah.
People handing him notes and gifts and just constantly sharing their love. Kids, right?
I saw that. Yeah.
A mom and her like newborn were there, and this young kid, and Derek got to spend a moment with them.
This is me and Arya.
And
This
so,
is the coolest moment of my life.
throughout the race, we really got to appreciate it. We really got to enjoy the experience and take it all in. It was also the first time that he had seen the festival grounds. So he got to pop into like the meditation center and he got to see how cool that was. And he got to go around the creek and see all that. And so it was cool to get to, like, he obviously knew about this stuff, but it was cool to get to see him take it in person.
Mm-hmm.
And also, I'll tell you what, he was working. And we're running at 8,000 feet. So
yeah, I was gonna say before the on top of when you said, all these things, that the question marks as to the execution of this, as well as physical activity and people not being experienced, elevation has to play a huge role in that. So
it was a big part of it. It was something that I factored into this. Is like I knew that this was going to be hard for people, whether it was a deterrent or just something that people sort of struggled with. It wasn't going to be easy. And look, I mean, even as a seasoned runner, like I felt the altitude. That was legit.
Yeah.
So I want to also acknowledge D for like grinding out this race. It was hard. So the way we designed the course, which was actually great, it allows you to go through the start line after the first. You run a mile, you go through the main starting area, and then go run a bigger loop to finish the race.
Oh, cool.
So after the first mile, I could tell that D was hurting and working hard, and we went through the sort of start-finish area, and I said, Derek, you don't have to finish we don't have to like do the whole thing. We could just go here and just call it. And he goes, no, fuck that. We got to finish this race.
Oh yeah, fuck it.
And I was so proud of him. I was so proud of the way he like really grinded it out. I could tell that he was working hard. He had to dig deep. And it was really cool to be by his side for that, to witness the resilience and perseverance that he had to demonstrate in that moment. And the finish was just epic. So you go through the RV section and you can see the finish line. And the whole race is standing on the finish line waiting for him. And he gets this big burst of speed towards the end. And we run into the finish line. He does this little spin and like goes and breaks the tape. And the whole crowd goes wild and embraces him. And he's, just smiling tremendously. And it was just this incredibly wholesome, joy-filled moment. And what I came to realize is that the entire race was that way, where volunteers and finishers and spectators were waiting on the finish line for every runner. And every time a runner came through, they were treated like they won the race. And what an incredible statement about our community and the way we support one another, the way that we uplift each other and celebrate each other's wins. I think it's a hallmark of what PLF is all about. You see it day to day, the way we pick each other up and support one another, the way we help make each other our best selves. And the race really embodied it. I was so proud of the way people stepped up to contribute and make that experience what it was. And so yeah, the race wrapped up. We had one more track from Mikey Thunder at the end of the race, and like so cool to see sort of like D behind the table with just a couple hundred people in a super intimate experience, just like freestyling and connecting with the crowd and talking to people. It was just such a positive, happy experience all around. And that was it, like D and Uma took off from there, and I was beside myself. I not just with spending the time with D, but by how well the race went, how perfect it was. So much had gone into planning this, and to see it come to fruition and manifest in its most incredible form, I felt such a sense of satisfaction in seeing what we had created. And what we, when I say we, I don't just mean myself and Aurea. I mean every person there. Every person who was there contributed to creating this really special thing. And it's something that I'll take with me for a while. Obviously, I hope we have the opportunity to do more of these, continue to grow bigger and better. But what an inaugural year for the race.
Well, dude, I gotta say, mad props and congrats. I mean, that's very special. I mean, and this is what this is all about. These, there's obviously you can talk about the music, you can talk about shows, but Pretty Lights is so much more than that. And I'm really happy that you got to experience that, and I'm happy that you're sharing it here. So, yeah, and I mean, hearing your story, hearing you explain all this, it's just amazing that you take, like you said, your journey with Pretty Lights, and then you work with Uma and Aurea, and then I mean, obviously it's nice to have it at a place where a lot of people are, and then and the fact that Derek's involved, that's a big influence for other people to join, of course. So I mean, It's just all these things swirling together to execute, and I mean, what a beautiful thing. And yeah, I mean, the fact that people stuck around, I assume that's something you don't get at your average race. I mean, a lot of people are very, like you said, people have teams, but are people waiting around for anyone else to finish? No, I mean,
Oh, yeah.
So it's something you loved in a much more refreshing and different form. So I think that's amazing, man. So
that's a great call, dude. I've run so many races, but nothing like this.
Mm-hmm.
This is unlike any race I've ever attended or experienced, and it is this sort of collective bond and connection that everybody there had, because it was so much bigger than just the race.
Yeah.
And everybody felt that. And so to see the way people stuck around and the way people celebrated, the joy that people experienced throughout that whole event, yeah, that doesn't happen at most races. And it was really palpable. It was really, you could just
Yeah.
sense it. And, my hope is also that maybe this enables people to continue on their own fitness journey too.
I was
Right?
just gonna
Like,
say, yeah.
there's so much potential here, and so many people after the race were like coming up to me or messaging me saying, hey, like that was my first 5K, or that was my first race, or I've never really ran before, and now I'm so motivated to do so. I love hearing that. That
Yeah.
makes me so happy to know that lives can be changed through this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it's amazing that, I mean, how many artists that people are fans of. I mean, I don't, maybe more outside of this type of jam band and electronic community, but like, is any other artist really going to take the time to set this one set this up, but two, be involved, and taking someone's platform and making a difference. And I got so much respect for the whole team, and
Yeah.
especially Derek, for not only, yeah, he could have just showed up and maybe done a little bit, or maybe, like you said, he had the opportunity to end, or even just maybe walk the whole thing, but he took it seriously. And then on top of it, what's really cool is that, yeah, maybe he wouldn't have gotten a chance to see the grounds, but this was a way that he would maybe get a little more space than normally what he would. Like, had he just walked through the campgrounds, it may get overwhelming. Obviously people circle you and things like that. But in this way, he was able to kind of just pop in and run around and be like, okay, he's in the middle of his thing right there. So I think, dude, so on so many levels, that is just, it speaks volumes, man. So
Yeah, no, that's spot on. I give so much credit to Dee and Uma and the team for creating this, for not just, and also taking part in it themselves, for like really being ambassadors for it, for the change that they want to see, for the experiences that they want to create, and to connect with their fan base, right? So many artists have distance, right? Like are not really present and relatable, or sort of available. And so for D to connect with his fans in this way, for him and Uma to show up and be a part of the community in such a real way, it speaks volumes. And it's a big part of what made the event so special. And yeah, I mean, I don't know many artists who are going for a run with their fan base. At the end of the day, like that's just an amazing thing.
yeah. And I mean, in some cases, some artists may think that the disconnect means that they made it, like more
Mm.
security and separation from people, like, oh yeah, I'm big now, so I
Yeah,
need that. So like, that's an amazing thing there. And forgive me, I actually said in the beginning that it didn't involve music, but I didn't realize that Mikey Thunder was doing that too.
yeah.
No. So yeah, but either way, the main thing was that.
I think Mikey was at the start line, just straight up setting the vibes. Like he was actually a critical component of it, because he just brought a great energy. He played the Rocky track
Oh hell yeah.
before the race went off, and he it was definitely about the race. It was
Yeah.
about the running, but he helped just create a great energy and a vibe,
Yeah.
and was definitely a key contributor
Yeah.
to the experience. Yeah.
As you were explaining all this, another thing I've realized is, like, since the return, they've really involved, like, the community in so much, from the request line to look at all the supporting acts that weekend.
Yeah.
A lot of people within the community, like, who are making music, and then on top of it, what you did here. So just the fact that they continue to have an open ear for these things, and really put their foot on the gas and make stuff happen, is just like, it's, where are you going to find that stuff? So again, it's like,
Yeah.
is the music in itself and the show is already mind blowing, but like they continue to level everything up in every aspect, and on as it's already been in the music and things we would never even think of, but this is another aspect of that where, you know, I know Fish maybe did something like
Yeah.
this, but either way, this is, you know, built and organized and designed, you know, with people who are fans. So that's awesome.
The emphasis on community is undeniable. I'm a perfect example of this, where of where we are now versus where we were before this. And when I say I'm a perfect example of it, look at how I was completely unplugged for 12 years, 13 years, right? From 2009 to the hiatus.
Mm-hmm.
I was just on my own, right? Like I literally didn't know a single other PL fan. And the growth that the community has experienced, or the level of connection that people like me can now have, is a testament to the emphasis that's put on community. Right? Like I I remember on New Year's Eve in Chicago. At one point, I like to be on the rail. I like to be pretty close to the front for these shows. At one point, I looked around and saw so many people who I now consider some of my closest friends and have these incredibly strong relationships with. I looked around and saw so many. And I thought to myself, holy shit, a year ago, you didn't know any of these people, right? And for 12 years, 13 years, like you were just on an island. You were just on your own with this.
Yeah.
And so it's such an incredible thing to see the power of putting energy into creating community and the way that that can change lives. It's changed mine profoundly. And I'm sure there's many other people like me too. I know some of them who really had no connection to PL or no sort of PL friends before this. And now they're deep in it and have this incredible network of support and love, all because of PL. And we're really lucky to have what we do.
Yeah, for sure, man. And I mean, for me, 36 shows I saw before the hiatus, and I kind of had my crew. And I mean, I met a couple people, I was semi-active on Facebook and stuff, but I didn't really like try too hard to go outside, and partially, shy and thinking like, oh, I'm not as fam as these people trying, there's no, and to anyone out there, like I've had people talk like to me like, oh, I'm not as deep as this and that. I'm like, dude, that does not matter at all. Like it, it does not matter. And so it's just, now that I'm doing this, I've met so many people and getting to know so many people. So like, I'm so excited for the next time I go to a show, because I know I'm going to be bumping into so many people that I've gotten to know through this and everything. And it's just, it's a beautiful thing.
That's one of my favorite parts about going to shows at this point. I mean, like, obviously music's amazing, and I love the sets and, hearing all the tracks and everything. But I think my favorite part about going to the shows is just seeing all the people that I care about.
Yeah.
The opportunity to spend time with the folks that I adore, and you go to these shows and it's just like nonstop bonding and quality time.
Yeah.
That to me is the most fulfilling part about attending a PL show.
Yeah. Yeah. Like a whole weekend is not, it's not just the shows. It's everything that happens prior and, and what follows. So, all right. Well, just overall, music wise, and what stuck out to you over the weekend? What are a couple of the songs or moments that,
I'll tell you. So I love back-to-back Wake Up into Time to Build a Home.
Yeah.
I want those tracks married forever. And anytime I hear Wake Up, awesome, love it. And then the question I always ask is like, are we going to transition it into Time to Build? And anytime that happens, I'm just thrilled, because those two tracks gel so well together. And so we got that. I think to kick off set 2, night 1.
Mhm.
And that was definitely a standout moment for me.
Oh yeah. Did you camp?
I did the speaking of time to build a dome camping.
Oh, okay. Perfect segue.
Yeah, it was like a glamping setup. It was right along the river on the creek too. I would like fall asleep to the sound of rushing water. It was great.
Oh, nice. All
Yeah.
right. The post just came out. Like I said, you were in it. And they said at the end, should we do it again next year? Which I really
Yeah.
hope, because I had to miss this one.
Yeah.
But I would love to go back, or love for it to come back and to go. And then obviously run the
Yeah.
5K. That would be my first official.
Oh, yeah.
I've completed what is it, 3.6 miles? Is that what it is?
A 5K 3.1.
3.1. Okay, so I've ran that amount, but
Yeah.
I've never officially worn the numbers and everything. So that'd be epic.
Dude, if we do this again, I'm all over it. I wouldn't miss it. And I'd like to think that this shit's gonna only grow in terms of the 5K. I have so many more ideas about how I want to level this up, and there's opportunities for us to do some really cool shit with shirts and race timing and awards and all kinds of like just level ups that we can bring to make this experience even better than it already is. And I'll also say, like, I think it's great that you want to do this and haven't done one before, because that was a point that I was really trying to emphasize in the announcement, is whether you run or not, this is for you. You can race it all out if you want, or you can jog it at whatever pace you want, or you can just show up and walk. Just move your body, right? Like just go out there and move. And fortunately, I think that got through to a lot of people, because a lot of people showed up having never run a race before, and they went out and gave it. And so I was proud of them for sort of laying it out there and stepping out of their comfort zone. And I want to continue to push on that message that you don't have to be an experienced runner to do this. This is for everyone.
Yeah, that's awesome. And hey, dude, I would love to help out in any way I can. I mean, hey, maybe you need a little host, a little trip through time setup, over there.
That would be awesome.
Yeah. But yeah, dude, it's awesome. Okay, I wanted to say, I actually, you were talking about your what do you call it? Your that you had that. I mean, I would love one for next year, or like however you got that.
A couple thoughts. When I run these races, I use like high-end technical performance fabric, right? Like there are like running tops, running singlets that are made of this like ultra lightweight, moisture wicking, performance oriented gear. And so I was able to custom tailor one of those to sort of put PL on that and rep PL during the race. And what I'd like to do is have some giveaways for the race for those who sign up, that they could have a technical shirt, a performance oriented shirt or singlet or top of some sort. And that way, they can wear it during the race at Yahn Dawn too. But they could also wear it at their own races when they go back home. These people go back to Cleveland and Texas and wherever, and they're running their local race, repping PL. We're out there, baby.
Yeah. No, I think it's dope.
Yeah.
I mean, these are not only workout in I work out in them, but they're also very comfortable.
For sure. For sure.
So
like I said, there's a lot of potential to grow this thing, and I'm real stoked about it.
Oh yeah, dude, that's amazing. And hey, if I ever bring my mom to a show.
Oh, dude, she's gonna smoke everybody. She's
I know.
gonna
Then
win this thing.
this would be something to be like, hey, mom, they're doing a 5K. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool, man.
Well, yeah, dude. Give me any other like memories or lore you got over the years of seeing this stuff. Any funny stories or what are your favorite shows? Anything like that?
That's tough.
I know you've had a
Chicago.
lot crammed in,
Yeah.
but
No, right. Like I've been fortunate enough. I feel incredibly fortunate and grateful to have been able to see as many shows. There weren't a ton of stops that I've missed over the last couple of years, and like just an incredible experience. I think one that stands out for me is Salt Shed. I'm from Chicago. My family's from Chicago, and I was able to bring them to a couple Salt Shed shows, and it was just such an incredible experience to get to share with my family. I'm very close with my family. I love them dearly, and to get to just let loose and really just have fun together at a show. Again, it's about sort of bringing different worlds together.
Yeah.
And at Yahn Dawn, I got to bring together my running world with my PL world, which is just so incredibly special. And then in Salt Shed, I got to bring together my family. That was amazing too. Another meaningful one for me was Tahoe. I had just moved to New York, and I'd gone through a breakup around the same time, and that was tough. It was a tough adjustment to go through a move and a breakup pretty much in the same week. It was rough. And then Tahoe came around, and I had an Airbnb with just an impeccable group of people, and those sets were probably some of my favorite PL sets of all time.
Yeah,
and
it's crazy, man.
Yeah, and just that town itself, it has some magic in it, man. Like those mountains and the beaches and the giant trees and the whole energy of that place has something really powerful. And so Tahoe was transformative for me. It got me out of a rut, and I remember feeling a lot of just healing and love during Tahoe. It was something that stood out to me too.
Hell yeah, dude. Yeah, Tahoe is great, and one thing I always say, it's like obviously you love the music and you love the community, but another aspect of Pretty Lights is the places that it takes you. Without the music, there's so many places that I wouldn't have gone, and Tahoe is definitely one of the most beautiful places I've been in my life for sure.
And you got a baby on the way, right? A little PLF making.
Yeah, a little baby girl any day now. I mean, the due date is a week from today, the 24th. So could be any day. Yeah, it's wild.
That's exciting, man. You and D about to be dads.
I know. I'm curious as to when they're gonna have theirs, but yeah, it's pretty wild. There's actually a handful of other PLF that have had some kids in the last couple of months too. So it's a wild time, man. So
that's good stuff.
Yeah.
Congrats, man. I'm excited for you.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man. And I know you said you got a handful of nieces and nephews and stuff. So
I am the world's greatest uncle to 6 nieces and nephews, and they're all young. They're all under 9. They're so much fun.
Yeah.
Wildly energetic. If I think I'm fit or have like good endurance, I try to keep up with these kids for an hour, and I'm gassed. So just a level of energy that is just really just unending.
Yeah.
And I get them into PL too. It's
I was
actually
just
really
gonna
fun.
ask. That's what I was
Yeah.
leading into.
I'll,
Yeah.
I'll play it. I'll play it for them a little bit and they're into it. Um, my 9-year-old niece, I like to dress her up in my PL fits. I have some fits that sort of like stand out a little bit, whether it's like
Yeah.
not just the jib, but like a Jack Storm's necklace and a gibberish hoodie or whatever.
Mhm.
And I'll deck my little niece out in those and some shades, and she looks so fresh, and it's so funny seeing this little 9-year-old walking around, just sort of decked out in PL gear. It's really funny. They're
Yeah.
also great. They love like the stickers and the trinkets and the mini
Yeah.
jibs and all that shit. I'll come to visit them in Chicago after a show, and I'll just have like a haul of PL stuff, and they're obsessed. So their rooms are just stickered out and trinketed out. It's really
Oh
fun.
yeah. Well, that being said, I'm gonna send you some stickers. So let me
Oh,
let
thanks,
me get your
man.
address and shit. I'll send you some. Yeah.
That's dope.
But yeah, that's one thing I'm really excited to, uh, pass this stuff on and build, more experiences with my future family and stuff, and even my nieces and nephews too. So that's just dope, man.
I
And it's
Yeah.
it's nice that you have it's nice that Chicago is an often hit place for stops that you can go see
Oh,
your
dude.
family. Yeah.
Anytime PL goes to Chicago, I'm all about it. It's a
Yeah.
chance for me to see my fam and to see PL at the same time. Doesn't get any better.
Well, dude, I'm moving back
Oh, cool.
in the fall. So next time you're back, maybe we'll do.
Oh, yeah.
I'm getting excited to do more of these in person and stuff. And I'm gonna be
Nice.
linking up with like Hammy T and Chris Topher Toast
Yeah.
a lot. So
Yeah.
I'm definitely
There's
trying to build that stuff up.
love Hammy and Chris.
Yeah.
And there's such a great fan base, community of PLF in Chicago. So you'll be
Yeah.
set.
Oh, I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, like if
Cool.
thinking about this before the kid was on the way and before starting this project, I may have been like rolling my eyes at going back home because it was cool to come out here and it's been an awesome experience. But now, aside from having the family and friends, this is a huge piece of like going there and like
Yeah.
being more involved with people and doing all this stuff. So yeah, dude.
Great.
Um,
Cool.
well, yeah, dude, I appreciate you taking the time. It's been great getting to know you, and I'm looking forward to more in the future. So, yeah, I mean, if you want to give any shout outs to close us out, or
Yeah. Well, first of all, thanks for having me.
yeah, of course.
Appreciate it. And shouts to the Discord fam to start. That was really one of the first communities that really took me in. Millie and Hippie and Swirly and Myth and Petey, like just homies who totally brought me in. Val, and I could go on and on. Like just
Mhm.
one of the coolest things about the Discord fam, when I was running the Boston Marathon, they were live tracking me during the race. So you get like a chip, right? That like sort of tells you where you are along the race. And so the Discord fam basically had like a tracking party, and they were following me and commenting and just like blowing me up on Discord during the race. And it was such a cool thing to be able to, after I had a great race, like really happy with how things went, to go back on there and just read all these messages. It was really nice. Same thing on Facebook, man. The Facebook group is such an asset to our community too. It's such like a great space for connections to form, for us to sort of like share our love and meet new people. Someone on Facebook posted that I was running the Boston Marathon. I think it was Christina, and like just got so much love there too. So I don't know. Shouts to the whole fam, man. Like we're just so lucky to have each other.
Oh yeah, man.
So that's awesome. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Well, this will conclude this episode of Trip Through Time. And as time goes by, memories never die. Tons of memories that this guy's built. Run into pretty lights, going to see pretty lights, and then swirling it all into one at Yahn Dawn. So, yeah, man, looking forward to more of this stuff in the future. And once again, I appreciate you.
This is great, dude. Thank you.
Nobody can stop your progress, cause unknown forces move some unknown objects. That's magic.